you being the head of EPA, kid, you're the 17th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the administrator of EPA. And you have a lot of things that fall under your jurisdiction. If you don't mind, maybe share a minute. What are some things that fall under the jurisdictions of being the head of EPA?
So there are these landmark laws that have been on the books for a long time. Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, Safe Drinking Water Act, TSCA, chemicals, CERCLA, RCRA, solid waste management. There's these laws that create these statutory obligations that require EPA to do a bunch of different things. President Trump wants us to advance cooperative federalism, to improve our relationships with the states, to grant what's called primacy, to approve applications, requests from states to be in charge of their land, air, and water, as opposed to unelected, faceless bureaucrats sitting in some office in Washington, D.C., deciding what is best to resolve some very local issue that the state is more than capable to do a better job of taking care of themselves. So we have all of these obligations. We are trying to partner with states as much as possible, approve state implementation plans, their requests on primacy to take over everything from coal combustion residuals if they're in that part of the country with coal, with underground different aspects of regulation related to water, where they'll request that primacy as well. So that's a key fundamental principle. Now, the core mission of EPA is protecting human health and the environment. Under President Trump, we call it powering the great American comeback, where the first pillar is what President Trump has spoken about often: clean air, land, and water for all Americans. Conservatives care about protecting our environment, but that's not the end of it. We at the Trump EPA are different than the Biden EPA because at the Trump EPA, we choose to both protect the environment and grow the economy. We choose both. What's different between conservatives and liberals? We don't view this as a binary choice. We don't say that in order to protect the environment, we have to strangulate out of existence entire sectors of our economy. So we have 4 other pillars of powering the great American comeback. Again, pillar 1, clean air, land, and water for all Americans. Number 2, unleash energy dominance, U.S. energy dominance. Pillar 3, permitting reform and cooperative federalism. 4, make America the AI capital of the world. Pillar 5, protect and bring back American auto jobs. This fulfills a lot of presidential priorities that the president campaigned on. All the stuff that we're doing at EPA to fix everything, it's not like President Trump hasn't campaigned on all of it. Now, if I had to do the math, it's possible that at least half of the president's deregulatory agenda is at our agency at EPA. We will do more deregulation in 1 year than entire federal governments in the past have done across all federal agencies combined across entire presidencies. One agency, 1 year, more deregulation than you've ever seen. One proposed act of deregulation alone, a proposed rescission of the 2009 Obama EPA endangerment finding and all of the greenhouse gas emissions on light, medium, and heavy-duty vehicles, and the off-cycle credits on the annoying things like the start-stop feature of vehicles, which...
Very annoying. It's not even good for the cars,
stupid.
by the way.
So dumb. If finalized, that proposal will be the largest act of deregulation in the history of the United States of America. Now, if anyone was only listening to the last 45 seconds of what I said, they're like, oh my gosh, you're talking about all this deregulation. Yeah, we never lose sight of our core mission of protecting human health and the environment. We just put out, these are the 3 best press releases that we put out this year. On the 100th day of President Trump's term in office, our top 100 environmental actions from those first 100 days. On President Trump's 200th day in office, the next top 100 environmental accomplishments from the next 100 days. And just this past week, on the 300th day of President Trump's term in office, our next top 100 environmental accomplishments. 300 environmental accomplishments, 300 days, we're never going to lose sight of it. And the last piece of this is on the operational front. The budget, the operating budget EPA is about $10 billion a year. I have canceled about $30 billion a year, $30 billion a year of savings from our effort this year. So you're very much getting what the taxpayers are paying for in 2025. Not so much before that. Because when the Democrats had one party rule, they had the Inflation Reduction Act. They came up with this creative name. They're good with coming up with names, by the way. They're very deceiving.
Yeah.
Getting back to Jasmine Crockett's point earlier about misleading, they're very good at that. although Crockett didn't do a great job misleading on this one. She got busted. Even CNN had to call her out. They appropriated so much money that the EPA didn't even know how to spend it. In 2024, EPA obligated and spent over $60 billion. That number is like completely getting reversed this year. I've canceled the entire greenhouse gas reduction fund. That's 3 different pots of money totaling $27 billion, over $2 billion worth of environmental justice grants on top of it, $750 million in staff efficiencies, $1 million.
You said something about 15,000 employees. You're going to go get rid of a third of them by the end of the year to be at 10,000.
We had over 16,000 when we came in. At the end of 2025, we'll have 12.5. So it's about a quarter of the agency. That saves about $750 million a year.
$750, got it.
Over $20 million saved so far in real estate consolidations, and that's an annual savings. That number is going to continue to go up. $1 million in canceled media subscriptions. I shut down an EPA museum that I'm sure none of your listeners knew even existed or ever visited. It's cost $4 million to build, $600,000 a year to operate. We closed down the EPA museum. Added up, all told, we're talking about $30 billion of savings. So on the operational side, we have a zero tolerance policy for any waste and abuse. On the environmental side, we are prioritizing our statutory obligations. We will do more with less. We will get more done with 12,500 employees than they did previously with over 16,000. And on top of it, we're going to do the largest deregulation that anyone has ever seen in the history of the United States of America.
When we set out to create a shoe that blends comfort, function, and luxury, we had the choice to make it fast. We had the choice to make it cheap. We chose neither. Instead, we chose Tuscany, Italy. We chose true Italian craftsmanship, each pair touched by 50 skilled hands. We chose patience, spending 2 years perfecting every detail, and we chose the finest quality at every step. Introducing the Future Looks Bright collection. Not rushed, not disposable, not ordinary. Rather, intentional, luxurious, timeless. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.